Okay, so here's a short tutorial on expanding. Okay, so let's start with the easiest one to do, which is one factor with a bracket. Okay, bracketed terms. Okay, so the first thing you do when you expand is you want to distribute this factor, okay, to the terms inside the bracket. Okay, so this would be 3 times y, and then 3 times positive 4. Remember to always include the sign, okay? So 3 times y will give you 3y, and 3 times positive 4 will give you positive 12. And then put it together, you have 3y plus 12. So this is the answer to the first question, okay? The next one is the same, except you are using a variable instead of an actual number, okay? But the steps are the same. So we are distributing y to the terms inside the bracket. So this would be y times 2y, and then y times negative 3. Always remember the sign, okay? So y times 2y is 2y squared. Remember our rules, index rules, okay? When an index or the same base, okay, the same base is multiplied, you add the indices. Now, there is an invisible index here. Every whole number or variable has an index of 1. So that's why this becomes y to the 1 plus 1, index rule 1. When the bases are the same, the indices are added. That's why you end up with y squared, okay? And then y times negative 3 gives you negative 3y, because negative times positive is a negative. And all you need to do is to put it together. So we have 2y squared minus 3y. Okay? So now let's go here. You have now, we are distributing a term that has a number and a variable, but the same procedure applies. We distribute this to the terms inside the bracket, okay? So let's start. So 2a times a, and then 2a times negative 3. Always remember to include the sign, okay? So this becomes 2a squared again because of the index rule. When the bases are the same, you add the indices, and then you remember, if there's no index, there is an index. There's an invisible 1 there. Okay, so 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay, and then 2a times negative 3, negative 6a. Remember to include the sign. So put it together, the answer is 2a squared minus 6a. Okay? And lastly, this one is kind of tricky. Now, look at the difference. You know what? Maybe let's just use the same thing here, okay? A minus 3, okay? So, you have 2a, 2a. You have bracketed a minus 3, a minus 3. But what's the difference? The difference is the negative sign before the bracket, okay? So this means you have to distribute the negative sign to the terms inside the brackets first, okay? Now, there is like an invisible 1 there, okay? So this is actually like negative 1, okay? So then you need to distribute that. Okay, let's just put that invisible 1 first. There, invisible 1 that I made visible, okay? So you need to distribute that one first, okay, to the terms inside the bracket. This is not Okay, because some of you might do this. 2a times negative a, and then 2a times negative 3. Okay, that's not correct. Okay, what you need to do is you need to distribute the negative 1 first to the item, to the terms inside the bracket. So that becomes negative 1 times a, and this becomes negative 1 times negative 3. Okay, see what happened here? This one, you kept it at negative 3, but this is a negative times negative, which should give you a positive 3. Okay, now this one is negative 1 times a. Now remember, there's an invisible 1 there, so it's negative 1 times positive 1, which gives you negative. Negative times positive is negative, so you have a negative a. So now, this is how the equation looks like. 2a minus a plus 3. Okay? And then you can simplify this part. So 2a minus a is a plus 3. So this is the final answer. And see how different it is. How this negative sign before the bracket makes a big difference in the final answer. Okay? So I hope this tutorial helped you. Bye-bye.